West Ham will give him a tough game though.
2-0 Chelsea.
6 minutes gone, ball comes in, Ward-Prowse again. His deliveries are good. Oh my God, his deliveries are good. Shot Carney! Yes! Come on! Shot Carney! Psych! Antonio. Oh my God. Caicedo wins the ball. Oh my days, now we're cooking.
We gonna cook! 10-man West Ham, too much for mega money Chelsea.
We just lost 3-1 to West Ham away from home. They had 10 men for I don't know how long.
Tottenham 2, Manchester United 0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Another poor away day goes by just like that.
Hello, good morning and welcome back to DR Sports for your weekend roundup show. You've got myself, a 3-point collector this weekend. You've got the man to my right of me, also a 3-point collector this weekend. But on my left, we've got two lads that couldn't square up a point between them, and that is Flex. There's no bubbles coming out.
There's no bubbles coming out.
The bubble machine is not even working. Wow.
We've been through this. You know, when you need it to happen, you need it to happen. You got to be on point.
Yeah. We got other stuff. All this money didn't work. Once again. That's Caicedo. That's Lavia.
Holy money.
That's Lukaku. That's Osimhen.
volley.
Yeah.
It's a volley.
Of course you are. As usual.
That's technically Liverpool's. And again, that's the rest of Caicedo.
How much? That's one penalty. That's one foul. That's one shot off target.
Misplaced pass.
That's one penalty miss.
Yeah, header straight off the pitch. It's a wide shot.
Oh, Bowley. How much more you want to spend, Bowley?
Break the bank, Arsenal. Break it. How many banks can you break? You're pathetic. Joker. Right, welcome back to the show. It's been a very interesting weekend of Premier League action.
This is going to be a tough show, mate.
Yeah.
More than
trust me,
more than you can believe.
50 reasons why it's going to be a tough show.
Yeah.
But there you go.
We actually need to buy more players.
That's how unserious they are, you know? Because he means that.
Break the bank
He's
again.
like, there's still 10 days.
How many banks can you break, you sausage? You're embarrassing. And he's wearing a Spain shirt as well, because he doesn't want to be seen. Hold that. Right, where do we want to start? Make sure you smash that like button. I can see already 2,500 of you are expecting that to go up to 10,000. So let's aim for what? 2,000 or 3,000 likes on this one?
Why not?
I'd say so, then.
These guys are in the mud. It's the first time a big team's been mudded this season. And there's two of them. So let's enjoy, let's feast. Be prepared to be sliced, cooked and buried this morning, fellas. Good to see you both, though. How are you? Good?
He's having fun. This is what he does.
Wow. I love this.
Look at him.
This is prime AGT, you know. Because when it's his turn, his head will be rattled by the comments. He can't handle the heat. So I want him to have all this.
Don't nod.
I want this. This is good.
The game is a game, V.
You needed this.
Everyone's going to get their turn.
Absolutely.
But you were giving it that to him and you were saying, I like this confidence. Bring it. You said 2-0. Boy. Right, remember to comment your thoughts on the games at the weekend. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Let's start with Chelsea. Why not? Caicedo. Nightmare debut.
That's not what they're doing.
Right? Nightmare.
Oh, the internet's a mad place.
All right.
They're doing Caicedo, yeah?
Already.
Okay. I just need to know what the new lingo is.
already.
Yeah, Caicedo, that's the name already. A couple of stats for you.
Are these going to be correct?
Yeah. He double checked
my
his stats.
stats,
His stats are
the
judging.
fact checker
If it's
had
from
to be
Fuad,
checked.
all right, cool.
So my stats are a bit
Sometimes
better
your
now.
stats are off.
Sometimes maybe good.
Sometimes maybe shit.
Yeah, there he is. Shout out to Matty. He's looking.
Fuck off,
lovely.
man. What is wrong
so
with
that's
you guys?
good.
You've done a whole intro. Now you've got that up on the screen. What more do you want? When was that? That was
real?
Yeah, it's real, bro.
Was that in COVID?
Unbelievable.
That
was a head shave challenge, wasn't it? Yeah.
I did I turned up late to my own stream. I said it 12 hours later, got it wrong, and then I said to my viewers, I'll shave myself bald.
Had to be done, man.
Damn. I interviewed Gavin Marcotti like that.
Damn.
Fair
What
play.
a time to
He's
be
never
alive.
contacted me since.
I'm not surprised. But listen, at the start of this game weekend, you were chatting about an LFC midfield. Lavia, Caicedo, Fernandes. Well, Fernandes, he missed a penalty. Caicedo conceded a penalty, and Lavia was sitting at home. perfect weekend for Liverpool. And we heard, of course, Enzo Fernandez at the start of the season saying, yeah, I think we must win the league. I think it's a very good thing to do. But bro's got relegation form because he's only won 3 out of 20 appearances for Chelsea. 10 losses, bro.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I mean, that could apply to anyone that signed in January.
One team, my team, won 3-1 with 10 men. The other team, you, lost 3-1 against 10 men. Soboslai, McAllister and Endo, 111 million. Moises Caicedo, 115 million.
I thought we were talking about Chelsea.
You know, so
right.
crazy.
Why are there so many Liverpool references?
Let me give you this one as well.
If this was the other way around, 7-0 still hurt you, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So it hurts that they
Let him talk.
Because he said he's going to start with Chelsea, but I've heard a lot about
There's a lot of Liverpool.
If you want, we can concentrate on Todd Bowley. So he has
breaking
spent,
this up.
Todd Bowley has spent £85 million per league win since taking over. He actually has signed more players than he has Premier League wins at the Chelsea.
Do you know what's crazy? I said this after yesterday's game. I said, after that Caicedo performance, Enzo missing the penalty, Liverpool fans, they're dressing up
We're
like
in a
Kobe and
bag
Shaq.
now.
They're getting their dunks off this weekend.
why not,
hey,
man?
the game is the game, man. Listen.
You couldn't write it, could you? Because the thing is that the Caicedo thing, some people have said it, for that kind of piece, 115, which you were ready to pay. Let's not forget that.
And,
you were ready
and
to pay
apparently
for it.
this morning we don't have the money and we're not buying another number 6. So that's a different issue.
Okay, let's do that. So look, Liverpool were ready to pay it. You paid it. The Arsenal were ready to pay 70 million or whatever it was in January. Like, people are ready to pay a lot of money for this guy, and you can't write him off after one game. You can't.
No, but it's still very nice.
It does show you, like, you couldn't have written a more perfect script, innit, really? Enzo Fernandez.
I could have.
Really?
I could have written
This is a new
much better script, yeah. I think if we'd won, I think if Enzo had scored his penalty when we were dominating in the second part of the first half, against Liverpool, we started slow. They peppered us in the first 15-20 minutes. They score. Same happens with West Ham. Concede 2 corners inside the first 6 minutes.
With Ward-Prowse there as
well. What was
well.
the one rule going into the game? It's James Ward-Prowse, don't concede set pieces unnecessarily. We concede 2 corners, so we got what we deserved. And then we grew into the game. We got a goal back, and I'm thinking, we're gonna overturn this deficit. But second half, I don't know what happened. This team just didn't come out the same way, and. I can't legislate for conceding to Antonio, who literally bypassed 3 of our centre-backs. We're playing defensive.
Bullied them up, you know.
Yeah, we're playing
hard
3 centre-backs
food,
as
bro.
it is.
Bear,
And
yam,
he just
dashing, planting,
trailblazed.
dumpling, everything.
Dashing.
He just trailblazed.
Collarloo, everything.
This man ran Skamaka out on the pod. Yeah. And then he said, I'm going to do it all over again.
I can't wait to hear the next pod, because the way he took turns on each and every one of them centre-backs.
The Colwell bounced off him,
Disassi,
innit?
boom, come
bounce.
here, bounce. Boom. Thiago, 39, let me show you, come. And I was giving Thiago all the praise last week.
Yeah.
He took turns on each and every one. That was almost like a prime Antonio performance.
Brilliant goal.
Prime West Ham
What a
performance.
goal.
And you almost, what you said there, the amount of money Chelsea have spent for it to be undone by a Ward-Prowse set piece is just so...
2 assists
it's
on
so
his debut,
Barclays.
by the way.
It's just so Barclays, literally.
Prime Barclays. Money
For me-
doesn't buy you everything, bro. Can't buy you 3 points.
Is it all doom and gloom though? Because it's early in the season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Are there still
But to hold
positive
that
signs to
loss
see
this
that?
early,
I'm really annoyed with the loss because I feel like there was a lot of things that we did in that game that we just didn't do in pre-season. In pre-season, we played a 4. We were really on the front foot, taking the game to teams. And this first 2 games, we played a back 3. Chilwell's been playing left mid. Colwell coming out to left back. I didn't like to see that too much.
Overlapping.
And Andre Santos has a really good pre-season playing as the deep midfielder. Say Caicedo's not ready. Clearly he wasn't. He came off the bench pretty rusty. I think it's fair to say. Lavio is not ready as well. These 2 haven't really played the first few fixtures. Maybe not even trained. Caicedo was chilling in London for a week last week. So that's fair. No problem not starting them. But you have other options in there where you can still play your back 4 that you was playing in pre-season. I just feel like we've kind of gone away from that to kind of go to a 3. Fair enough, you could legislate against Liverpool, but West Ham...
Why is he doing that? Why is he... Because all the players ain't in yet? Because your pre-season wasn't that, was it?
I guess he just doesn't feel that midfield is Gallagher, Enzo, he's feeling that the kind of balance is not there to play a 4. But you have Santos. So I can't really...
But in pre-season, unless I'm mistaken, it was 4-3-3?
Yeah, it was.
4-2-3-1.
It was a 4-2-3-1. And the thing is as well is that with Chelsea... we've obviously Nkunku's out, and now Carney gets the goal, playing in the 10, really good performance. Now he's out as well. So we keep losing our 10s, and it's really pissing me off because I don't know what we've done to deserve this. You know, we've just been so
not calmer, but
so calm and quiet, humble.
Really? You think you've bought enough to not have to miss out on any position?
That's what I'm saying. But now it's like, what are we gonna do now? I'm like, what do you mean? What are we gonna do now? We have to find a solution. It's not acceptable. Not
was the solution not there yesterday in that Sterling performance though?
Sterling was the only.
Like he rolled back the years
on his name.
Yeah.
Obviously playing on the right side for you lot this season, but. For City, he was cash money off that left wing. If Mudrik's not really firing, if Kearney's obviously off injured, why not slide him in there? Madueke, maybe put him on the right, see what he can
just
do.
come back from injury.
Yeah.
Wasn't good
No goal scorer. All that money.
Nico Jackson, what are you making of him? I know there's a lot of like exciting early touches, and I said I think he's going to be this season's almost.
Yeah, you like him.
When he gets it together, he's going to be a problem. But the problem is do Chelsea fans have that patience for him to get it together? Yeah. Because I remember even when Drogba first came, you had a lot of that quality first team. But for that first 2 seasons, he wasn't really hitting.
Yeah.
But when Shevchenko arrived and it clicked for him, complete different player. Do you think Nico Jackson, it could be something like that? Or
yeah, listen, I'm still a massive fan of Nico Jackson, what I've seen so far. I think the hold-up play is brilliant. The touches are very good as well. He's a very good footballer. It's very clear to see. But he should have taken... Yeah, he should have stepped up for that pen.
Is Enzo the penalty taker?
I don't know why Enzo took it, to be honest. I wasn't too confident when I saw him stepping up for it because I've never really seen him take penalties.
He scored for Chelsea.
Scored at the World Cup.
Yeah, he scored a wicked goal, didn't he?
Did he score?
Or was that the World Cup?
I'm not sure if he's actually scored for us. But
I think he scored in a penalty shootout at the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
But in terms of
the Premier League, no.
Yeah, I don't think so. James obviously injured. I think he would have took. Nkunku would have took. He's injured.
Yeah, I don't think you have a primary one. Yeah, that's
just give it to the striker.
Long gone are the days where strikers actually step up to take penalties.
They don't want to take them.
It's like, bro, those were 3 goals almost you would take at the end of the season, and it's like nowadays it's almost.
I think Harry Kane would let someone else take a penalty.
Are you mad?
No chance.
Can I ask a question as well?
He gobbles up.
Because I get it, and when we get to the Man United section,
we're cooking you as well.
Exactly.
Don't worry about that.
But with Mudryk, because everyone's saying he's like awful, and I've got the same thing with Antony, so I know what it's like. Have you? Well, actually, Antony scored goals. To be fair, Mudryk hasn't scored. Mudryk hasn't scored, has he? Right. So Mudryk's worse, but.
I thought we was on the same team.
I know, but I've got to distance myself some bit because someone's got to be the real loser here. And I think you might just shade it because my shade's going to come. But no, the Mudryk, is it? Do you believe in him,
bro?
What is it?
I said it when we signed him. I don't know too much about this guy. It's funny because his experience at top flight football is very little. Like you look at Angelo, who we loaned out to Strasbourg. He's played probably more top flight games for Santos than we've seen Mudryk in the top flight. Yeah, he's got very little experience. For a 22-year-old, he's played very few games at the top flight. You'd think he'd have, minimum 150
even
games.
Even at Shakhtar,
he just hasn't. There's just not that much to go off. That's why when we signed him, I was like, I don't really know too much about this guy. We've seen a couple of Champions League performances. Arsenal are ready to go in for him. Next thing you know, we're in for him. But the truth be told is that he is a 35 million pound potential player. Same as Madueke. Well, I've said so many times, I don't see a massive contrast between Madueke and Mudryk. I think they're both kind of on a similar level because Mudryk is double the price with add-ons going to 88.
And he's not even starting games.
Everybody's putting Mudryk right up here when really he's got so much to learn. You can see it in his game. There's so much to learn. So. Listen, he's only made 7 starts for Chelsea, and the rest of them have been off the bench. It feels like it's probably been more for a lot of people, but I have to give him time. I'm not gonna turn on him, but obviously, we need instant impacts, and I'm not looking to him thinking right now we're gonna get consistency.
What about the good bits? So once you get Lavia sorted, once you get Caicedo sorted, I know there's
comes back in December.
This is it seems ages away now, but this is Poch's second Premier League game. Like how is it? It's not all doom and gloom.
No, I'm not overly worried. I think these kind of performances is why. As much as people want to put us in a strong title race, it's probably not gonna be.
Who did that?
Well, people because of the money spent, you'd automatically say you have to be up there with Arsenal.
Yeah, you should. But the players that you bought and the state of the team,
you can't have performances like you had against West Ham and be in those conversations. So we need to go on a run. And I was hoping it was going to start yesterday. It hasn't. But I'm not overly concerned because I do believe that now with that midfield that's coming in against Luton, I'm trying to see exactly what I saw in pre-season. The only issue is the goals, but. That's where Jackson, Mudryk, Sterling, these guys have to chip in.
You got Luton at home next.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a team that smashes in a lot of goals this season until Nkuku's back at least, because I think he complements Jackson quite well. But it's a team that defensively should be way better than that. I'm not the goals we were conceding was just embarrassing.
I think the most important thing you have to do now is turn your home into a fortress again. I think Chelsea were almost synonymous with that, and I feel like over the last couple of years it's become like anyone can go there and just pick up something. And I feel like this season anyway, that needs to be almost like Poch's MO.
Especially because they're might be a bit ropey away from home while they find their feet.
Absolutely. If this season's going to be kind of the settling in season for Poch, at least make sure you come into our ground. You're going to have to at least fight for these points. But I think in that game as well, you have to give West Ham a lot of credit.
That's what I was about
as much
to say.
As we are kind of trashing, I think, as you said, you lot started off so well. I remember looking at that midfield of Souček and Ward-Prowse and couldn't string
it doesn't have any right to do anything, really, does it?
But as the game went on,
Big
as the
tackles.
game grew, West Ham turned it into their style of game.
And
it was
Paquetá, he ran his nuts. He
I can't
was
lie.
on it.
I was cooking him.
He was on it.
But he was doing what he needed to do.
He heard
Winning
all the
fouls,
criticisms.
getting yellow cards, whatever was needed to get momentum this
his
way.
thing, man.
What he did to Caicedo single-handedly, he ruined his game.
Yeah, it's
he
mad.
saw him getting routed and he said, I'm going to give you a nightmare debut. To
He
not
said,
forget.
and Caicedo was giving
It's like Caicedo gave him a fake thumbs up or something. I said, bro, you're cooked.
He was rattled a bit. Caicedo
I think you have to give a mention to that kind of West Ham spine. I was like, even Aguerd and Zuma, I thought were solid.
Even
in moments
Alvarez
as well.
when he came on was brilliant. I
Yeah,
thought.
solid.
It's the thing, when
Great sign of him.
you can't beat West Ham at their own game. We started crossing the ball in loads. You're not going to win those headers against their defenders. They brought Ogbonna on when they went down
Yeah,
to
they
10.
loved it.
When they went down to 10 men,
Still looking
when they went
around,
down
bro.
to 10 men, they didn't look any weak. We didn't look any stronger. And they didn't look any weaker. And the thing is as well is that I said it before the game. There's no point. I mean, every time we've won 2 out of the last 8 at Olympic Stadium. That's how bad the record is. Every time we play them, I never look at them and think, wow.
And you did say you'd win 2-0 as well.
I did, but we lost by 2 goals, so close enough. but I never go away from West Ham and come away from the match thinking, yeah, that was fair enough. They were just that good. They are what they are. David Moyes, that's what they do. Set pieces, shithousery, stop and start.
How do you think West Ham fans feel? Because
They'll take it. They'll take it.
I mean, it's only 2 games. They've got a draw against Bournemouth, and then now they've done this. It doesn't mean they're not going
We did the preview with Nick, I think, the first game week. He said coming into the season, he wasn't expecting much. He was expecting another relegation battle. It was going to be tough. Even a Bournemouth game, I think he predicted a loss or I'll be happy.
negative.
I'll be happy to take a draw type of thing. The way they played, they were lucky not to take all 3 points. Then they go 10 men against Chelsea to get the. I think it's a nice start in a moment where you're still trying to figure out your team. Transfer windows closing as well. Listen, their 2 best players as well, Ben Rama and Bowen, I think had the most quiet games, which says it all about their performance, I think. Well, in a nutshell, it's, as you said, old school Barclays. They threw it back, literally.
But James Ward-Prowse,
Premiership.
2 assists, he becomes the first West Ham player ever to get 2 assists on his debut. You knew the danger when they signed him. He gets 2 corners. First one, they almost score from it. The second one, they score from it. Great equaliser, to be fair, from Chucks, who got injured and went off. I like that. Not him getting injured. I like the goal. No. There's a great finish, little dink inside.
It was good. It was good
slams
skill
it
from him,
in.
drop the shoulder.
But then once it goes 2-1, you're thinking it's one of those days. But then it's 3. It was like it can't get worse now.
I could feel it.
It did. Caicedo came on, howler. Someone actually made a note of every mistake that he made after coming on after 68 minutes.
That was
really sad.
On a Sunday, a day of peace.
God's day.
And they took notes. Every minute they took.
You must take notes, though. You must.
They said, you know what they said? He looked
Fraud
nervous
watch.
in the 73rd minute.
He did, though. He moved mad. But you know,
He was
but what's crazy?
started doing prayer at the end of the game.
Bro,
He said,
They
man.
were on to
One of them
him.
days, listen.
Everything.
You know sometimes you just got to ignore the world.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the world.
Yeah.
Big man, I know you got me.
They said in the 85th minute he looked out of breath.
Like you said, he's been chilling in London all week. Probably an overcover.
He
Shisha
clearly
bar
wasn't
and
ready to start.
But you know what though? It's funny, isn't it? Because online and everything, when Caicedo was going to go to Liverpool, it was Liverpool probably going to have the best midfield in the league.
Can change
then
quick,
then he went to Chelsea, and then it's he's going to cook with Enzo. Look at this! Oh my God, the whole league's in trouble. And now because he's had a bad 30 minutes, it's like,
Yeah,
look at him, look at the state of him.
But I'll tell you what, Matisse has had
It's what happens, and this is what we're here to do. Be reactionary.
But
and go
Matisse
for it.
has had a bad 30 minutes. Now it's your turn.
Let's go.
To get some bad minutes
Let's
under
go.
your belt. Again, we will speak about every other game. We're not going to go chronologically because we might as well just mud these two as much as we can.
Super chat first, though.
Let's get into the super chats. He's right. Bro is mad. How do they ban Tony from a restaurant and cancel his car insurance for allegations of betting? Says LJ Brown. Is that what happened? Fair play.
I need to watch his.
Sultan, hold that, Matisse and Flex, you clowns. Ten Hag out, I'm seeing. Another super chat from Sultan. L left out of the squad. F fumbled a pen, and C cost you the pen. LFC, they said. Well, thank you for taking LFC. You bought more players than wins, you clowns. And then Massum says 220 mil midfield, 1 pen missed, 1 pen conceded. SK says Chelsea beating or getting beat was wholesomely satisfying. Shout out to you. And Big Dog, he says, are we too harsh on signings, i.e. Mount, Caicedo? They don't decide their own price tags. It's a good point.
No player decides their own price tag. We say this a lot.
There he is. Flex in the mud.
Is that a filter or is that what my face was
No, that
actually
was
like?
you.
Look like I had
We
lip
didn't need
filler.
to put a filter on.
What, you lot putting lip filler on me now?
yo.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Looks like someone bust up your
that
eyes.
You know what I mean? Got a sty on my eye, lip filler. What's going on?
Good word. Yeah, you got battered. But yeah, I guess we are harsh, but that's the game that we live in now. If this was happening to a Liverpool player yesterday, I'd be sitting here getting the same cookage.
Well, Sabasa was an absolute disgrace. He dived. We'll wait till we get to Liverpool.
Let's stay on you, my friend, so don't worry about that.
I mean, don't dive and they did it with Salah, now they're doing Sabasa.
Contact was made.
Yeah, it's awful.
True, they need
like your
time,
tactics.
but I'm saying what Chelsea fans told us: when you spend big, you have to compete right away. Come on, you Gunners. And then Brian says 7 games, 21 points is what Matisse said on Thursday on this show, I believe. He said, the next 7 games, I want to see 21 points.
Yep.
More like 21 errors. Big man. But anyway, we're back onto him. Tottenham Hotspur 2. Manchester United 0. We watched it here live on DR Sports. It was a great watch, to be fair, for myself. We had Cams and Leas in the mud. This guy was just loving every minute of it. But Sarr, great goal from him. And then Lisandro Martinez with the own goal in the 83rd minute. Who wants to start
slicing
here?
it into his own
Do you want
net.
to start? Or should we let Flex open the floor?
I don't mind. What
What do you want to do? It's up to you.
I'll go. Let's get the niceties out of the way,
Get it
because
out
I
of the
know afterwards it gets a little bit muddy, do you know what I mean? But listen, I don't think we've beaten United since 2018 at home, I think it was. And I
beat
think
us
the
in that
last
stadium,
time, yeah, I think the last time we beat was the 6-1. So for me, coming into this game, you would have thought I'd be nervous, but as I said in the preview, I think it's the first time playing United I actually felt confident. After that first performance from you guys and us, I said, United always seem to, for some reason, the first 2 or 3 games seem to have a bit of stickiness finding their feet. Funnily enough, we came out the game nervous. I thought first half, you lot were actually way better, had the better chances, and I was thinking, yo, if these lot get a goal, it could be a wrap for us. But I think that's the thing I've enjoyed the most this season. Not only just kind of how on the front foot we're playing, but the fact that in tough moments, we actually ride it out and we can see it out. And the way we came out second half, I think Maddison was a prime example of the performance, because in the first half
didn't see it,
final
yeah.
ball was just not coming off. Second half, he turned it. Guys like him, Basuma and Sarr, those 3, what they were doing in that midfield ran the whole show. Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, I can't even remember their performances. They were that bad. Casemiro looked like he expired in the Tottenham Stadium that day.
It's the one where, Basuma put it through.
Crazy. So the 3 of them, for me, epitomise that performance. I've said our front line still hasn't figured out the goals, but the fact that we've got that midfield, the defence, I thought looked solid again as well. And I think Vicario, the keeper, I was very harsh on him the first game. He looked shaky. I said this was a better performance. In the second half as well, you had a couple of chances. I think Rashford,
He made a
Garnacho.
big save.
Yeah, Casemiro's header.
One onto the box. Yeah.
So I thought the defence played their part, midfield played their part, and Ange, listen, I can't stop singing this guy's praises almost.
You
It
love
feels
him,
like
innit?
bro, it's weird 2
Come down
games
training,
into the
mate.
season, everyone's like, why are you so excited? Why are you so on board? I'm like, firstly, we've been starved for the past 4 years with ugly football, and I'm not one of these style of play merchants.
Yeah.
Win by any means, I don't give a damn. But when it's being done in this manner where the team is still getting their feet right under a new manager, but what I'm seeing is we're actually being brave in the way we play. Like guys who last season looked like they couldn't control the ball now are getting it in tight spaces, passing it out, and I'm like, Rotted. Is this what a new manager has done in 2 games? And the thing is going to Brentford away, not easy. United at home, as I said, the record weren't great. Yeah. So the fact that we're putting in those types of performances, I'm like, it's promising. I'm not saying, listen, I've said this season's a write-off. There's no expectations.
Just let him settle in.
Give me some culture, give me some playing style, and let these youngsters develop. Udogie. By the end of the season, he will be a top 3 left-back in the world.
Wow, that's a massive shout.
In the world.
Whoa, Destiny, yeah?
Destiny is headed
Damn
to the
Destiny.
top.
Damn Destiny. Did you
Yo,
see? Bro, what?
Who are the left backs out there now?
What?
Who are the top left? I dare you to name Luke Shaw in there.
Damn.
He will be clear of Luke Shaw by the end of the season. United fans will be telling me,
don't look at me.
We got Destiny. Listen, Paratici, I just want to say, a special sorry for you because I'm sorry. Man's got me Basuma, Bentancur.
Not even 10.
Listen,
I said free.
Free. I said it.
Forget free. He said the world.
Whoa. Udogie is special, bro.
I know he's got Doge in his name, but he ain't that good.
Special player. There is nothing he doesn't have. That's my thing.
How many games have you seen him play?
People
Hang
always
on.
call you mad when
How
you're
many
in
games
this
have you seen him play?
Here's the thing. People will always
Fuad,
call you
you're
mad.
not like this.
Here's the thing. I saw enough. The minute we signed him, I started investing my time in Udinese games.
Really?
I watched enough last year and I've seen enough this year where I'm looking at that player and I can see. I don't need to wait 3 years. I don't need to wait 4 years. I'm telling you now.
Manager.
This kid is going to be special. Listen.
But then he ain't going to stay at Spurs. He ain't going to stay at Spurs very long then, is he?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. You're going to come knocking.
He's heading right to the top. Listen, Modric, Bale, that's the trajectory, bro.
Levy.
Hey, listen. Anyway.
Before it's supposed to be you cooking him, you cooked yourself.
You lot have deviated the conversation. Anyway.
We know you deviated the conversation. You did that madness. We're tapped in. Bro, I haven't said one word because I got to let you cook. This is your time.
You lot don't believe in destiny. Listen, remember this show is all I'm saying. In 2-3 years' time, when these guys are all saying it, just remember who told you first, yeah?
That's
Pape Sarr as well, I've got to give a special mention. I can't lie to you. 15 million. I think last season, what he made his debut against AC Milan was his first start for us. A lot of people were saying, loan him out this summer, let him develop.
Getting it ready, yeah.
That's a grown man there in a boy's body, but that's a grown man there.
This is game 2, you know.
I actually look forward to AFCON.
Pape Sarr, listen. All I'm saying
When
is,
AFCON
all I'm
comes,
saying
it's
is
gonna be
with
beautiful.
Sarr,
This whole midfield's gone.
Højbjerg can leave, and I've got my replacement there. We
Okay.
don't need to go and sign. I think a lot of people, that's what I'm kind of alluding to, is where people are saying loan him out, he's ready to contribute this season. Wow. Listen, you were hyping up Endo. Please don't try to disrespect my boys. Don't try to disrespect my boys.
No!
Yeah?
And no!
I got bullets for everyone today.
Damn!
Captain of Japan.
Come on.
Sorry, you do realise I gave you a choice.
How old is
to
Sarr?
cook him, and
21,
you chose to ignore that choice.
What do you mean? There's no cooking. I'm just hyping up my team.
But he was ready.
I don't care about
All
United.
right, whatever.
We can do United.
I do respect that though, because like
I'm here.
sometimes when you win a game, it's all you make it about the other team. Like he's bigging up it, and they've been so down bad with the crap managers. He's like, listen,
Basuma was unbelievable.
It's been an
unbelievable.
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 Right. Listen, this season, we're coming for heads.
Well, let's go to Flex
Tutsu.
then.
Shit.
Yeah.
How do you explain what happened
to
then?
be honest, I think Fuad, I think he's mentioned it all really. I think he's covered it. To be fair, I think he's right. Everything he says, I agree with. To be honest, Man United were good in the first half, bad in the second. So Fuad's right.
You should have took your chances, man.
I'm only joking.
Is he trying something?
The handball.
Yeah.
Listen,
I can't lie, we got away with that.
do you know what? Yeah.
Bruno, if he scored that in the
Listen,
first half,
that header,
It was a
and the assist that he had for Rashford was slightly offside.
Yeah,
He was-
the Rabona thing.
Bruno was on it.
Do you know
first
what?
half.
It got so bad that in the first half, Bruno was so on it. Yeah, I was going, Maddison, are you mad? I was doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Bruno went, Flex, I got something for you second half. He said, he goes, just chill, I got something for you second half. But it just proves the margins in the game, innit? Because if he would have scored from 6 yards, which he has to, it's a disgrace that he didn't. If some of his passes led to goals, which they probably should have, it would have been up at half time. Bruno's got a couple of assists and a goal, and I'm
You could
laughing
easily
all the
been
way to the
two goals clear at
easily.
half-time. Yeah.
So there was positives in that, but again, I'm just going to get to the negatives because you see that point that you made when you said what you're really proud about is the fact that you stick out the tough moments.
Yeah.
Man United are the complete opposite of that. As soon as the going gets tough, they buckle. And when it's at Old Trafford, listen, our home record's fantastic last year, only lost one game, and luckily managed to beat Wolves. But on the road, as you saw, the stats don't lie.
No wins in the top nine.
It's a disgrace. So as soon as, and loads of people could have told you what would have happened. Is Man United might play well, miss a couple chances, be 0-0 at half time. It was the same, the Liverpool thing. Look at that. The first 35 minutes of that game, 40 minutes of that game, even game. As soon as there's a one bit of adversity and you concede, their heads just go. We're in big trouble. And the reason why we're in big trouble at the moment, as it stands, is because the balance is off. It's off. Like, you have to look at Ten Hag for that. He's brought these players in. He's made the decisions to change the midfield in the way that he wants. Dash out Fred, don't want to use McTominay no more. Fine, no problem. But then what not going to start Eriksen anymore, but then what will we look like? And all I'm seeing is, he's saying Casemiro's getting retired at the moment. But if I'm Casemiro, I'm going mad at Ten Hag and I'm going mad at my midfield. I'm saying, what are you lot doing? He could be Kante. Kante couldn't cover them distances that is going on, bro. Prime Kante could not cover them distances. So he's being overexposed at everything he's bad at because the team's not set up
like
correctly.
Fabinho at the start of last season.
When he's just isolated, he just... Mate,
left on the island.
Help me.
Exactly, help me. Yeah, we're not saying that. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what it is. He's going in there doing the Kevin Hart thing, saying, bro, what is this? How could our midfield look worse now? When it was just me and Eriksen chilling, bro, yeah? When it was me and Eriksen chilling last year, we were fine. Everyone was saying we've changed.
Eriksen was the pacemaker as well.
And now all of a sudden, Eriksen's got no legs and is rubbish, so we're going for Mason Mount. And the balance is off, and then my attackers.
Wow.
Antony.
Wait there.
Garnacho.
Listen.
Attackers, you
let me exactly. Them guys who are at the top end of the pitch.
Right,
yeah.
fair enough, yeah.
Marcus Rashford. Listen.
Ooh.
Got to go back to left wing.
Absolutely, that's on Ten Hag right now, yeah. But listen, don't you dare do an Aubameyang, bro. Don't sign that thing. And yeah, it's 2 games. It's only 2 games. So, and you're not in your favourite position. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Question.
Cool. Yes.
You see the Rashford in the 9. I always notice when he has like a bad game, immediately the solution is let's put him back in his natural position. When he came through at United, he was a striker.
Yeah.
Over the maybe past 5 years, it's gone like that. Yeah, but I feel like we've seen growth in his game as a left winger.
We've worked out he's not a 9.
But as a 9, there's been no growth whatsoever.
Nothing.
And the thing is every season Rashford at some point is going to be using that position. Is it not on him to actually develop and become better?
And he can't do it.
I saw an old clip of Jose saying in 2019, he's just not a 9. He's just not a 9. And I'm thinking, bro,
but now he has, like, on the overlap, he did say, like, I'm the left. I need to be on the left. Like, that's his favourite position. But even when Martial come on for 8 minutes, the way he takes the ball and can get on the half turn, it just looks clean. Marcus Rashford in the first 5-10 minutes of the game, when we were actually in the ascendancy, was doing things like, you know, when you pass the ball to a teammate, pass it crisp, pass it along the floor, so that they can take one touch and play. Look after your guy.
Pass appreciation.
Right, not doing it. Hung dog expression, not chasing down things, not challenging, just looking like he doesn't want to be there.
Bobbly passes.
Just not doing everything. Garnacho, not ready to start. Not ready to start. Not his fault. Manager's putting him in. Yeah, I mean, these are Ten Hag's decisions, by the way. So, not blaming the kid. You've got a bright future ahead of you. You're not ready. You're an impact player. Can
I add, though? So, Garnacho last season wasn't ready to start.
He was an impact player.
Yeah, we're seeing again he's an impact player. Sancho played false 9 in pre-season, scored a really good goal. Looked like he could connect the dots, something that Martial had to do coming off the bench. Why is Rashford playing up front and Sancho not playing false 9 when you know that Rashford can't do what you need him to do in terms of connecting the dots? He's better running beyond. Antony, at this point, needs to stop playing as a touchline winger because he can't create shit.
I ain't even got
he
to
needs
him
to be
yet.
playing as an inside forward.
I saved that one for last.
He needs to be playing as an inside forward and just Salah, goals. That's all you should be thinking about. You can't create, and Salah can. You can't create. You can't come off the flank and make decisions
outside the boot,
and
little
pass
through ball. Can't do that.
Because every time, there was a moment in the first half. Antony, he cut in. It wasn't even a shot situation. He just, boom, straight away, shot. And I'm like, why? You just killed the whole attack.
Relax.
Why are you doing
it every
this?
time.
He loves it.
And the thing is, because he does that at a high rate, he will get like 7 goals a season in all comps or something like that. So it might not look that bad. Do you know what I mean? Or 8 goals, whatever. But it's too predictable. And what was I going to say? Erik Ten Hag, that was it. You have to ask these questions to him. That's not. There's this thing that, like, you know, if your manager's done some good things, you can't question some of the, because you're a horrible fan. No. Nobody, in my opinion.
No one's exempt.
No one's exempt, and I don't want Ten Hag out or anything stupid like that. This is year 2. And this is second game of year 2. So let's calm down.
Yeah.
But you can ask valid questions, like one, you saying the Sancho situation. Why do you keep persistent? Palestri's better than him.
Lard.
Pelestri, I haven't seen Pelestri have a bad game in.
I do like
Kundo.
I do like
Kundo's
Pelestri.
better than him. You know how mad that is?
So
I think Diallo would start if he wasn't injured. Yeah.
Here's the thing,
Højlund to come back in, he needs that.
But you know all that's missing now?
Now.
Here's the thing now. All that's missing now is with how we've started the season, is Højlund to come in,
scored a goal. And it's Martial all over
Struggle.
again.
Struggle.
Lack of service.
Well, you know when it. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying when it rains, it pours. All the narrative now is all that's missing is he comes in, and then he's dead, and then it's like, Man United are in the mud. But I'm not saying that's going to happen because I like the kid. He's got a bit about him. But there's so much pressure on him now.
I think
to do that now that's his first game might be Arsenal away.
Palestri's more likely to create for Haaland than Antony is, because Antony's just thinking about scoring. This is why I'm thinking This is why I'm thinking that Antony just needs to be a off the ball inside runner and just let him be kind of an inside forward. Don't ask him to create.
Antony. The problem with Antony, to be fair, I liked Antony a lot at Ajax. I'm a low-key Ajax fan, I can't lie.
Yeah.
So when he was balling there, I thought, listen, you lot got a decent player, but I never ever thought he was going to be 100 mil. And I'm not going to lie to you.
He should never have been that.
I'm looking at it like, of all the players that are in and around that 100 mil mark, he might be one of the worst ones.
Here's my thing,
But I can't see the growth trajectory even.
And his attitude.
I think his game is actually very limited. And Ten Hag's tenure, I feel like, might be decided on the success.
His stubbornness,
Ten
Hag's stubbornness.
And Martinez.
If he doesn't sort things out, Martinez is fine. He's just had a bad start to the season. Yeah, he's fine. We were saying he was like arguably our best player last year. He is like outside the fan base. That's going to be the narrative. But we know your legend was apologising for Martinez, so don't do that. Like your guy was saying, sorry, I got it wrong. Like
he was too small, but he's grown a bit.
Yeah, Martinez.
Exactly.
But with Antony, I just think
it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And the thing is, here's my thing. I was saying yesterday on the show, and people were like, no, you can't say that. I said, listen to the words that I'm saying. This current trajectory that he's on, i.e. if it doesn't stop, will be a worse buy 80 million than Harry Maguire.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
And the reason why, it sounds crazy to say that, but
not really.
I'm talking about the trajectory. The current trajectory of Antony is doing this right now. It's nosediving. So if nothing is put in place to stop this descendancy, i.e. flatline and come back up and show a bit, then he's going to nosedive, and then before we know it, this is the second season. So say this whole season is dreadful. This is me being pessimistic, right?
Yeah.
You then go into a third season, of nothing, of no return on that, and absolute dire decision making, dire on the ball, nothing. In the end, you're going to end up saying, boy, bloody hell, that was 80 million for Harry Maguire. Boy, we spent 80 million on this kid. This kid's Brazilian, supposed to have flair and actually be very good. With a centre back coming from Leicester, we got gas, but it's like, okay,
you know what you're buying.
You know, it might not work out. This kid's supposed to be it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's supposed to be really good. So the patience is running thin.
Sancho
You really want to back your players. Everyone wants to back their players, but you can't just blindly just act like nothing's alarmingly wrong. And when I look at what's going on, Rashford, there's something wrong, but there's 30 goals behind that from left wing to say, all right, cool. Bruno, there's something wrong, but again, there's goals, chance creation, there's assists, there's something there to say, but let's settle down. Mount, you're going, it's game 2, we've got a new midfield, there's something there, and you're just looking at Antony and you're going, I look at you and I'm like, okay, second season, all right, I'll give you a tick for that. You're young, give you a tick for that. But this guy's playing you every single game, though. Yeah. Like, you're the guy. You work hard, I'll give you that. Like, you got a bit of favela in you, so you're going to be up and down. But if you're going to have two wingers like Garnacho and Antony really high up, you know, not coming in to help out with the central midfielders, provide cover for fullbacks, you better be engaging. You better be keeping the opposite fullbacks pinned back so much. You better be Salah, you better be Saka, you better be Matoma, you better be Prime Son. Yeah. You better be so engaging that you can be that high.
Destiny was going, he wasn't tracking Destiny's run.
There's that, but then on the other side, Garnacho in the first half, I can't lie to you, it was almost like he had 20 yards of space.
Getting loads of space, yeah.
And I was like, you've got to make a decision. Either feed your striker or be the finisher. And that's the problem I find with Garnacho and Antony. They're neither. They don't want to feed the man. And I'm thinking Højlund, with what you said, I think he can actually be...
He's going to need the service.
He's going to need service, but he can also be a massive, massive difference maker in this team. I think where you said, it could potentially not work out, I'm looking at it the other way in the sense of he could come in and actually give you a glue point that all these guys can play off and kind of feed around, and that's what the kid is big as well.
Absolutely. Look, he is. It feels really negative, but weirdly, you know how mad it is.
This time last year,
bro. No, it was worse last year. We just played Brentford, got bopped 4-0. We've got 3 points. We're 3 points better off than last year.
This is an improvement.
But because of the manner of the performances, and it's been a whole year with the manager, the context, you're like, you don't really get to say that. There's something
the bigger
off
issue.
here.
It's the same thing we were going through with Conte and Eddie Howe. Everyone's like, Eddie Howe's been here less time.
Yeah.
Why does he play better football? Now you're seeing Ange just come in. He's playing good football. Everyone's like,
Exactly.
Ten Hag, what's he doing?
So why is it happening? So Ten Hag, to wrap up on that, look, Ten Hag has got to get it right. He's made his bed for certain players, so he's got to lay in it. So when it comes to Mount, when it comes to Antony, you brought in Casemiro on a 5-year deal. You can't go from Man United fans saying that we're saying that Casemiro is the best DM in the league, and now in one pre-season we're saying he's dead and can't run.
Yeah,
something's off.
Yeah,
and that's tactically.
That's Manchester United. And before we get on to Tottenham,
we did Tottenham.
10.
No, we did Tottenham.
No, I was going to chat about Ange Ball. You don't want to?
I think he gassed.
He's done his bit.
Bro, he said Destiny Udogie's going to be the best left back in the world by the end of the season.
Top three.
I think we've done Spurs. Oh yeah, top 3. Oh, now he's trying to.
I don't think there's
guys.
anything more he could say about Tottenham.
He's not going to kick a ball in Europe, but apparently he's going to be up there.
Well,
with the
AJ in the comments says, how Spursy, 2 games and Udogie is going to be world class. That's the super chat.
I mean, listen, some of us, we can see talent. It's not for everybody. Not everybody has talent ID like that. But
Where's Jed Spence?
On the transfer list, where I told him this time last year. Tell him Flex. Tell him that I told him
Charleston,
that. Tell him I told him that as well. Tell him I told him, give me my money. Yeah, when I tell you, let me spend the damn money at this club, because I'll be a real director of football. I got talent ID, not you lot. Yeah? Me. Yeah, give me all of that.
You did say that.
I did say all of that.
I remember you were getting accused of being a negative one in that window.
Yeah.
With Conte. That's true.
Madness.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shout that. I got a little excited.
10,000 of you watching us right now.
Wow.
Guys. We've only got...
How mad is that?
It's mad. We've only got 1,400 likes though. What have we done to offend you there?
2K
Get
minimum.
them up.
Come on.
If that doesn't go to 2K in the next 2 minutes, we ain't moving on. I want to see it move up. Oh, it's moving up. It's moving up. Make sure you do. Be that guy to help us get to 2K likes.
Wow.
Right, let's get into some of the other scores over the weekend.
I want this history.
We saw on Friday, didn't we? Forest beating Sheffield United 2-0 goals from Awani again. 6 in a row now for him.
He's coming on Trafford this weekend.
Yeah, good luck to him.
We better be ready.
And big Chris Wood. And a shout out to Gustavo Hamer, by the way. What a goal from him. Came from Coventry. I saw him play in the league playoff final for Cov. I was thinking someone's got to pick this kid up. They did. What a goal from him. But yeah, Chris Wood, 89 minutes. Typical number 9 header.
Proper header that.
Big fan of it. 2-1 to Forest. Great start at home for them. Sheffield United, 2 games, 2 losses now. Let's go to Fulham versus Brentford. This was a mad game actually to talk about. We were covering it on the Saturday Football Show. Wissa and Mbeumo with 2. No Tony, no problem for Brentford. They're looking very sharp. And Tim Ream with a silly red card, really, for his team to kind of, put them further in the mire. But Brentford, man, boy, we've seen this morning, haven't we? Ivan Toney coming out on Stephen Bartlett's podcast saying he's a Liverpool fan, but he's always like watching Arsenal. Is he trying to engineer a move away in January when he's allowed to come back?
Words.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're on the Bartlett thing, so you can be as open as you want.
But I think also
dropping it like that,
he knows Liverpool have kind of bought a lot of forwards recently, and Arsenal have been talking about.
He's got his plan A and plan B.
So he knows what he's talking about because Arsenal have been talking about a new number 9.
And obviously, to Arsenal fans, that equates to he's coming in January.
Get your bets in now. No,
definitely.
Paqueta did. He got booked in the 34th minute. We literally called it on a poll that he get booked in the 34th minute, and he got booked.
A few guys from Brazil have set up suspicious accounts.
I think for Fulham, though, it's a little concerning at home.
It is.
Losing 3-0.
This is my question to you. Fulham at home, they don't necessarily lose like that.
Now. Yeah,
and Mitro's gone. That's going to be a big impact. I think last year you saw how big he was for them. And then when he did miss with games with the suspensions, you saw how much of an impact that. They're home. They were losing at home to Arsenal, was it? They were losing at home to couple of other teams as well, but I think 3-0 at home to Brentford as well.
In that manner as well.
Is
Brentford
in
run
and
up on
around the
them.
same team.
And they were lucky to beat Everton as well. And Everton are pony. Look how bad Everton are.
Yeah,
The worst.
For
Really,
me, I
really
think
the
Marco
worst.
Silva, the mirage could be coming to an end this season potentially, especially if they don't get.
Should he have taken
proper
that
night.
Saudi money when he had the
should've.
chance?
If his heart ain't in Fulham, then yeah, but...
Probably should have taken that money, yeah. I mean, it's Marco Silva. No disrespect. That's the king's ransom for you.
Yeah,
Are you ever
bro.
going to get that opportunity again in your life? I don't
He
know.
thinks he's going to get a top 6. He thinks he's the new AVB, I'm telling you. You're not that guy.
What's
pal.
that? What happened to him?
I don't even think AVB was the real
What's he doing?
AVB. I don't even think AVB was the
thought he was
AVB.
the next Mourinho, but-
You know what? You're right.
he was so
He flopped to Chelsea, flopped to Tottenham, went to...
I don't know. I feel like his Tottenham
Porto?
tenure is harsh. When he came in, he actually set the record
Benfica?
points,
Did
lead
he, yeah?
position, and everything. He outdid. Problem was the next year it went real south.
Went to
real
Marseille.
He is
real
currently.
Where's he now? He was at Marseille for a
Hang
few
on,
He was
months.
doing something
He was
else,
at
I remember.
Marseille.
He
He's
was,
just chilling.
I've just
Football
typed in
manager.
AVB and it's come up with
switched
audio
sports or
video
something, didn't
bridging.
it?
But
Come on.
he's
not even the
current.
most famous AVB in the
He
world,
hasn't
mate.
got a job.
There you go,
He
mate.
was at Marseille 2 years ago. The man has not a job.
Jobless.
There you
Age
are.
45, unemployed.
He's young. He was a
that
scout
was it.
before.
He
was
became
scout
a
under
Dakar
Mourinho.
rally driver. I remember.
Excuse me?
What?
Yes. In 2017, the 2018 Dakar rally, he was driving a Toyota
Motorsport
Hilux.
career,
It's
yeah.
gone to
Front row
AVB.
with
you
Ruben
talking
Farrell.
about the
How
same
is this?
age?
I moved this on.
Andres
Yeah,
Villas
yeah,
Boas.
honestly,
I'm not joking. I remember being like, yo,
AVB
he
was
left
going on
football to go do some side hobbies. Bro, AVB's clock life, man. He's enjoyed, I'm telling you. Go look up his life. It's an
Oh,
interesting
he's probably
life.
living, yeah.
I tell you who it's not a good life for at the minute, and that is Wolverhampton Wanderers. 4-1 defeat at home to Brighton. Mitoma, what a goal.
What a
Contender.
goal.
already.
Can we have, yeah?
Do you know what, though?
Contender
Can we have
for goal of the
a
season.
Brighton appreciation thing?
Oh,
please?
we're gonna
Because-
get onto it now.
Because Brighton and you can't
Can
call
you
them Brighton
jump
anymore.
on that? No.
That you need to call them by full name only. Their name is Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club. That
Thank
is
you,
their
yeah.
name. It is not Brighton.
Not the Seagulls.
Yeah, not the Seagulls. Mention when you speak on Brighton, say their full
You just did it.
trading name. You just did it. That's right.
How they
When you
trade.
speak on who? Brighton
right.
and Hove
Go on,
Albion.
go on.
That's it. No,
Company's
because I'm
house.
saying from now on. From now on.
Company's
yeah?
house settings.
Company's
Wow.
house
Call them
settings.
what they are
yeah?
on Company's
Brighton and
house.
Hove Albion
Giving them
Football
their
Club,
full
yeah.
government name.
Only.
Middle name, last
what
name,
they've
everything.
done-
Maybe if you showed them more respect, that, you know,
Because what
Did we
they've
not? Did we not go and give them all the money for all of their assets?
in the
You did-
right
you did
way
give them
though.
money,
Very
to be fair.
respectful.
Yeah.
But they deserve massive credit because what
And they're gonna
Deserbi
get
has
it.
done. It doesn't even feel like Graham Potter even did what he done at Brighton and Hove Albion.
It's all forgotten now, all that stuff. De Zerbi, aka Mario.
Because Potter's been and gone and messed it up at Chelsea and just now jobless. No one even remembers the foundations that were there with this guy of how good they were because
Yeah.
De Zerbi went, huh, you think that's good? All right,
Yeah,
cool.
watch this one.
Come on, got
Because there was
something.
there was a big gap to bridge from Chris Hughton, I think it was, to now De Zerbi, and Potter was that bridge. He was
yeah.
that bridge.
So 15 minutes in, Estupinian assists Mitoma. 46 minutes in, Mitoma assists Estupinian. And then Enciso assists 2 for March, who is on fire. Solly
them
March.
assists, yeah, you
an
see the weight of
FPL
the
king
passes.
Right now. They're all perfect.
Matoma's set
They're
back
all
to
perfect.
Estepinian, yeah, to be running that fast, weak foot just soft.
I feel like all of them went uni and did the same course as Mitoma.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're
Do
all
you know what's-
got that green line chem right now.
I remember Coach Cam's big him up. He always says from August to November, Pascal Gross and Solly March
March.
Ball out.
become the best Ballon d'Or contenders for those first 3 months. And I don't think he's wrong, honestly.
Technically,
those
they're
two,
just really good, though.
They just turn up.
They're
At
good
the start
players.
of the season, every year they're there. Estupinian and Mitoma as well, just carrying on what they've been doing pretty much last season. Funnily enough, that I don't think in the first half, I thought Wolves actually had some chances where
They just can't score.
They can't
They
score.
just
to
can't- we
save
saw it
their
against Man
life.
United. We've seen it then. And big up Wolves as well, though, in a weird way, because everyone's got them as like these favourites to go
Relegations,
down.
yeah.
I don't have them as that, you know. I know they got smacked up against Brighton.
Performances, yeah.
Brighton are going to
they'll
smack
be
up a
down.
lot
I
of
think,
teams.
I think they've
Yeah.
had 39 shots, I think, or 37
Yeah.
shots in the first 2 games. I'm like, that's not a dead team. Last week, I felt like they should have actually come
Should have
away with
smashed us.
something
With
from
2
United.
or 3 at least.
And then this, I
At
feel like
least.
this scoreline looks worse than what it is, but because Brighton are so quality and
very good
decisive
team.
in certain moments, you're just like, oh, 4-1
Yeah, bringing
Brighton
off
is
Ivan
normal.
Ferguson
They won
off the
5-1.
bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's João Pedro off the bench.
And João Pedro is wicked.
Baller.
I wouldn't have minded him as well,
Big
to be honest
baller.
with you.
Well,
He
look,
is a
4-1.
wicked player.
Nunez got a silly second yellow, gets sent off for
Yeah, his head
Wolves
was
in the
gone,
95th
yeah.
minute.
That's my
Like,
kind of
how
red.
many players can we even?
It's my kind of red.
Yeah, that is. You would have got it half an hour before.
He took one man out, second man track on. He's like, get out of the way as well, man. 2 for 1.
Yellow card for the foul. Yellow card for dissent. Get off.
Like, if you're gonna get a red card, make it
worth it. Yeah,
like, don't get me no.
Don't be like McAllister doing some half-hearted.
Get me
All right, we'll get on to
some
that.
proper
We'll get on
things.
to that, right? So let's carry on
This
with
guy
the
would be
games that
suspended
happened
for
on
half the
Saturday.
season if he was playing Premier. I swear to God.
He would have got sent off after 5 minutes.
He'd only give you 15 games.
You don't know the tricks. You got to talk with the referee before the game, man.
I'll let him know what you
How's
plan.
the wife?
How's the family? How's the wife? Yeah. The dog gets Remember dogs' names. They love that.
I'm the same.
You're the Fernandinho, bro. You just get away with any form of booking.
And Rodri.
They're the best at
There's a
that.
method to the madness, I'm telling you.
Ref resistant. Yeah.
Speaking of Rodri, let's talk about Man City. Narrowly getting past Newcastle United at home. The only player to stop Haaland scoring across 180 minutes in the last 3.
Chelsea.
Sven Botman.
The
Man to keep him quiet at the minute. But listen, it was a 1-0 win.
Alvarez.
Yeah, he did.
It was a classic Haaland, man. Snatching at the chances.
Thankful.
Foden with the assist, playing in the middle this weekend, and then Alvarez, what a goal that was across the keeper from outside the box. Great finish. But does that scoreline maybe flatter Newcastle?
Yeah, I saw the game. You know what it is? I have to give respect to Newcastle because even when Man City were in the ascendancy and were looking like, they looked like they could always score. They had some real big moments, good counter-attack situations that they had to take, and they just didn't. They didn't do it. Bruno Guimaraes put one wide. They were clean through when Rodri gave the ball away, and then they're running back towards their own goal, and they didn't make the right pass. Isak was kind of huffing and puffing, but got a little bit frustrated. But they managed to still. They didn't go to the Etihad and get smoked. Like, if that was my team, Man United losing that 4-0. Do you know what I mean? Easy. A lot of teams would have got puffed out there.
Very negative. But even then, in the last 10 minutes, when you've done your negative kind of setup. Now you've got your 1-0 defeat. Let's go and get the equaliser. They never looked like they were. For me, they never looked like they were going to score. I thought that game was very boring outside of Phil Foden. Phil Foden was the only player on that pitch that could make a difference. Everybody else was just like. I was talking to City fans while I was watching it. Training session for City. They're just keeping the ball, rondos. Newcastle were just happy to just sacrifice possession.
And lose
Newcastle
1-0.
could string 2-3 passes together. I don't know what happened from the Villa performance to then come to their.
Because it's level, isn't it?
But the thing is, Man City had so many players missing, right? We talk about Man City. If there's any time to catch them, it's probably now. Sevilla played them in the midweek game. They could have beaten them. Loads of chances. If El Nasri could shoot the way he heads the ball, they would have won that game, right? That was probably the perfect opportunity to try and get something from City, and they're just very.
I think a lot of teams are going to the Etihad. You're kind of not going there thinking, it's a perfect day to kind of play them. Aside from Spurs,
I know,
maybe.
but
most teams, you're not going there. So I think even losing the 1-0, you're not kind of leaving there upset. Looking at the last 2 performances before that, I think they'll take more out of that than just one.
And they had chances. But if you're an Arsenal fan, you're probably looking at City going like what you just said. They always take a while to get going.
Exactly.
Arsenal's first sort of like 10 games is like favourable. They're going to be looking at going, listen, we couldn't be to start the title race. City will win games, but we need to just beat them.
That will be the game City
They'll
wake
beat
up.
Palace.
Palace away under the lights.
Monday night.
No cheerleaders.
They'll beat Palace.
Deal with that one first.
Robbie was actually going to send in a video and
then he said no
to mock you both, and he said, hang on, we're playing tonight, so I better.
He's got no confidence they're going to beat Palace.
Well, he was saying we
Palace.
might not beat them, so let me not.
Palace is a tricky one, though.
But that was an interesting game.
Yeah.
City 6 points out of 6 so far, and they joined Brighton at the top. Let's go to Anfield, and this was I know I've said it on the Saturday Football Show. It was the worst Premier League start I've seen in the opening 10 minutes at Anfield. We conceded one asleep after 40 seconds. Yeah. Just offside. It was offside, but again, that should be your wake-up call. So wake up, boys. Do not let that happen again. And then less than 2 minutes after that, Semenyo, great finish. Van Dijk giving that silly pass, wrapped it into McAllister's feet. Touch wasn't great, obviously.
It was Trent,
sorry, yeah.
Well, I thought Trent's wicked midfield, can't get the ball.
Well, he
thought it was just a bad touch.
This is the other question I've got. Like,
is that Van Dijk's fault?
Hang on.
Do you know what it was?
It was a heavy pass.
It was a heavy pass with 3 men around him.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dangerous one.
If
I'm a centre back, I don't do that.
Don't try that.
But Trent's pinned.
But what I'm saying is, my question to you lot, in the second minute, does Trent need to be back to goal 3 minutes in, receiving a pass
That's
like
the
that.
clock. Wait, that's it's inverted
Me
fullback.
personally, I don't think you do that early in a game, especially when you've
so would
already
you say it's
conceded
At home
one.
to Bournemouth, who'd you play?
Bournemouth.
At home to Bournemouth in the
but
third minute when
consider-
you're building up.
No,
What,
it's
you
not
can't-
building up because we'd already conceded one before that. That was this much offside. We should have been 2-0 down in 5 minutes.
Would you say that that's Van Dijk's fault for playing that pass?
Yes.
Then? Poor selection.
Yeah. Maybe if there was I don't know if you've seen the pass again, but it's almost like a half volley into his like knee area, and Trent's like, whoa.
I think Trent's good enough to deal with that.
No, but he is
He
9
is,
times
but-
out of 10. But for some reason,
It's
maybe
not
it was
ideal.
the bad
It's not
start
ideal.
that we had a minute before that has all led
thought that's the way Klopp
to this
wants to play.
nervousness. But
But
anyway,
if you
shout
get
out
that,
to
yeah, you score.
Semenyo. Great finish. But unfortunately for Bournemouth, it's the worst time to score at Anfield that early because we've got the whole game to come back. Now, Diaz, this
Finish.
guy. And it's who was I with? That was it. You who said no, it was a mistake, and then we watched the replay. And
I
you
never
went,
said
no,
that.
no, no.
I never said that.
When I came downstairs
Weren't me,
on
weren't
Saturday
me.
Football Show, someone said.
Must have been Josh.
I swear
No, it weren't
was
me.
Was it Josh?
I hadn't seen
Maybe
it
it was
by
Josh. But what a goal from Diaz. He scored a similar one against Spurs at the end of last season where he kind of gets it, readjusts his body. It wasn't an overhead kick, but it was a very flexible finish from the Colombian. And then Salah, again, I'm saying he's got to come off pens now, guys. That's 3 misses
he's missing
out
quite
of
a
4,
few.
2 against Neto for Bournemouth. Scored the rebound. He wasn't happy with himself.
McAllister's a good penalty
Dominic
taker, man.
Szoboszlai and McAllister.
Hi, just quickly, you skipped
Thomas
to.
likes a really good penalty
We've
We haven't
hold
gone
on
to that bit.
No,
Relax.
we have because you
He
talked
wants to
about
tell a story.
No, because you've talked about Salah scoring the pen.
Right.
Can we talk about the pen? How it was?
Oh.
How it came about?
Szoboszlai, his contact, he goes down.
Oh, is that a pen?
Listen, you know it's
Alex.
a penalty, bro.
Alex.
The
That's a
contact
pen.
is there, he goes
That's a
down.
pen.
Alex.
So is it a foul? Are you
Alex.
saying it's not a foul at
Alex.
all?
That's exactly what we're saying.
Alex,
Right?
You gonna be honest, or you gonna?
I'm going to be
Come on,
100%
Alex.
honest.
Take your
I
red-
look you
your
in the
red
eye,
tin.
We're
look
not even
in
calling
the
you
eye.
AGT
It's a
anymore.
penalty.
Alex,
Call him
come on.
Alex.
Alexander.
Don't make me go to
Yeah, you.
Alexander.
That's when I know I'm in trouble. It's all right.
Alexander.
Bro, come
Mr.
on. You
Alex-
can say.
Oh,
Mr. Alex.
But you know what I'd even take from you? It's soft, but yeah.
It's
You're not
soft.
even saying
It's
that.
soft, but there's contact, and he go. Try and tell me I'm lying when I say there was contact.
You're
Tell
lying.
me I'm
That's
a
not
liar.
a pen, man.
Tell me
That's
I'm a
not
liar.
pen,
So you're
Alex.
saying there's no contact?
It's not a pen.
Relax yourself, man.
That's not a pen, bro.
yourself.
The same way how I agree it's not a red card for McAllister.
Contact.
You got
That's not
them
a
ones.
pen.
Them ones. It's a soft pen.
It's a soft
And
pen.
it's,
It's a soft pen.
game's
I'll give you
gone.
that.
I don't like to see
Here's the
that.
thing:
contact.
if
I don't
it's
like to see it.
outside the box,
It's
it's
a
not
free
given.
kick.
It's not
It's
given.
not
Man's
given.
gonna, do you know what they're going to
It's
do this one? They're going to do this
to
one.
watch it back or something.
Get up.
Come on.
Yeah.
Get out with it.
We don't like to see
You
that.
guys need to watch it back.
We don't see.
No,
we don't
I've
like to see
I've
that.
seen it 5 million times and it's daylight robbery.
it with you.
It's daylight robbery.
Watch it again.
We watched it exactly.
He was literally with you at the time.
Can we get a poll in the chat?
Because
Can we get
he cut it back like that, and it was almost like that.
Can we get a poll in the
When you
chat,
see the
please?
replay, it's
Contact.
like
I'll
get it up
literally
again.
hops
Yeah,
as
he's got it
the-
there.
come
That
on.
is the
Contact
most
is
non.
there.
It's
What angle you
never
got
a pen.
You got the side
Come on,
thing, eh?
man. That's
Right,
never
well,
a
whilst
pen.
they're watching it back,
I think anytime you
and we have
swing your
got
leg as a
a
defender,
poll in
though.
the chat right now. Was it a pen? Yes or no? Let us know. The contact's there. It's
Yeah, come on,
clumsy.
man.
Shin on shin.
The thing is,
Do you know what? Do you know what?
here's what-
Do you know what makes it so bait?
Shin
He
on
doesn't
shin.
even fall correctly.
Shin on shin.
He almost swings
Yeah.
backwards like that. Yeah.
That's a disgrace.
But I will say, as a defender, though, you can't do that.
Clumsy.
You
You're
can't
giving
do
him
that. That's
every-
And
clumsy.
Salah gets life with the pen
Like
as
you're
well.
just swinging a leg like
that
that.
was bad. That was
No,
bad.
it's
Just say,
horrendous.
just say.
horrendous.
I've just said it's a soft pen, but it's a pen.
All right, cool.
Got the shin on shin.
All right, cool.
Anyway,
Cool.
poor penalty from Salah. Gets the rebound. We've got the poll for you in the chat. It's not looking great for me right now. But the second half comes around and Liverpool, through Alexis McAllister, get a red card. Now, this is the other massive talking point. Liverpool, in the last 30 minutes, have come out and appealed that officially to the FA.
They should.
Dermot
Yeah.
Gallagher this morning on Ref Talk. Massive mistake.
What did he say?
Got it
It's a
wrong.
mistake,
They
yeah.
said it
They'll
wasn't a
rescind
red
that.
card.
They
I
should
hope, though.
rescind it.
I
They've
hope
got to start setting a precedent because they keep coming out and saying sorry.
Yeah.
Like
So
Gary
give us
O'Neill couldn't
something
get his
back.
penalty.
That was.
They got, yeah.
And I feel like if
because they
do
can on
rescind it,
this.
this is a win for
Yeah.
not just Liverpool but everyone, because now it's saying stop saying sorry and start taking action. We don't want to hear sorry. We want to hear less. I mean, it just shouldn't have been a red card. It should not have been a red card. But anyway,
It was the same as
things
the
stand,
Lisandro
he's
Romero
out for
tackle.
3 games, right? And then 2
yeah, no,
minutes
that was
after
alright.
that,
That was
Diogo
alright.
Jota scores 3-1 Liverpool.
that a pen?
We take
It
it.
should have been a pen.
They're both
The
Argentinian, man. They're both
Lisandro
solid.
Romero, when they came together, that was similar to the McAllister.
Yeah, I think that was a pen.
and that for me should have been given as a pen, but
pen, maybe.
I didn't even
But
mention
then you
it.
can
I didn't
say,
even
what
mention
about the handball? I could say Chelsea last week, it swings and roundabouts.
But can I
right?
also ask on the midfield, right? So Endo comes in.
Yes.
Now you're
Konnichiwa.
Did he, him and Caicedo, who had a better
Well, he had a better game, yeah.
Sorry,
I mean,
who won?
it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse than what happened with Caicedo. I don't think Caicedo did anything right. But in terms of...
I would have had a better impact than
in terms of Liverpool, right?
Caicedo.
I'm guessing you guys still want another midfielder. Now your board are telling you no money.
Well, this morning, James Pearce said they are not going after a number 6. But as we've been on air, and I've been holding this for you guys, and I disagree with this massively. Hass has just sent me the screenshot. TalkSport are reporting this morning that Liverpool are considering a move. Brace yourselves.
For Gravenberch.
Go on.
He's not even
More
a
names.
six.
No.
For Ryan Gravenberch.
More names. Incorrect.
For Amrabat.
Nope. Nope.
Drewsbury Hall.
Nope.
Flynn Downs.
Calvin Phillips.
Hey!
Oh, no, that's been a thing, though. That's been a thing.
on.
Coming back.
Yeah, brother.
Phillips had planned to stay and fight for his place, but Liverpool could test the
AGC,
play.
can I ask you
I don't know.
something?
Is this TalkSport
AGC,
doing
can I
their
ask you
thing?
something?
He
I don't know.
is
Can I ask you something?
very injury prone.
He's injury prone.
He ain't even
I don't
gonna
want
play.
him anywhere
He
near
ain't
my
even gonna play.
football
But if
Never.
he stays fit, could Klopp get something?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Impossible.
I hear the
This
question.
is Oxlade Chamberlain
But that's a
all
big
over
if,
again.
though.
That
That's a
rock and
big
roll
if.
football with
No,
your injury-prone midfielders.
No.
Give it to me.
Did you remember
In
Navigator's
the
hamstrings?
Euros, everyone was gassing this kid. Oh my God.
I wasn't one of them,
He
bro.
was playing in that box.
Go,
to box, wasn't he?
In Qatar, I was
get
saying,
Ndidi
thank God he's
from
not
Leicester
playing.
and plug him in.
Indeed.
No, check the Corey from Palace. That's what I want.
Bruh,
That's what I want.
And that's a cheap solution because City will sell him on probably on how much they pay for him? 40?
They'd sell him on a loss.
Yeah, they would sell
Big
him on a
loss,
loss.
whereas
Because
Jake
I think,
Corey-
Klopp,
I
if he
think they'd be
chooses to get
happy to
Phillips.
get him out.
I
And if
don't
Pep
I
gives
don't
him
think
to
that's
you-
a Klopp player that he's gone in for.
If
I
Pep
think that's
gives you
someone
a
else.
player, it's because he no longer rates the player.
Yeah.
And it's a bad sign.
Jesus Zinchenko.
Yeah,
Laporte's
bad
just
sign.
gone to Saudi. Doesn't rate him anymore. Off you go.
Yeah, it's mad.
It just
Cancelo, off
opens
you
up
go.
a gap.
Yeah.
And also, they don't really need him because, again, they didn't bring him off the bench
would've
against.
And can I just
they made
say,
no subs against.
if Jorge
Newcastle.
Schmadtke is watching, please do not get him. Do not get him. Go and
That's
get
shocking.
Cheikh Doucouré, as we said on the Cop TV. If you're watching, you'd know.
But Phillips
Right?
is cheaper. And he's
No,
got
I don't
Premier
want
League-
him.
he's
I
got
don't
a lot
want
of
him
Premier League
anywhere
experience.
near the football club that I support. Please, thank you very much. Right.
Wow.
What have we got then?
Do you want
Was
what
it
we
a pen? Was it not
I
a
hope that
pen?
happens.
I don't even know where the poll's gone, but that cannot happen again. But big up to Soboslai, man of the match. Great performance from him.
He's good, man.
Really
good.
good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But McAllister, hopefully we do see him not banned for 3 games, and hopefully the referees just take a bit of ownership now. Say, listen, we got it wrong. Because Dermot Gallagher this morning was saying if they want to appeal, they have to persuade a judge or a panel of judges that it was clear and obvious. Why should that be our job? Surely that's what VAR's job is. So get it right. Stop messing around. You're ruining the game for everyone, not just me. This isn't just look at us, cry for me. This is hear me should have had a pen, and everyone else will get
should have
theirs
had
as
one.
well. So PGA MOL, referees in the Premier League, stop getting it wrong. I'll give you one more chance, and then I'm going down. Stop.
But there's only so many times you can keep saying sorry and
Yeah, because sorry.
He's not in next Monday.
Sorry
He's
seems to be the hardest word.
pulling up. You know that scene outside the office where you just standing outside the mansion. Can't get in.
Come outside.
I'll be there 8 hours until someone lets me in, right? And I'm gonna live stream it, and honestly, stop it, because if you haven't ruined it already, you're starting to, and it's getting on me. Right, anyway, Luton Burnley match postponed. Let's move on from that one. Get your builders, get your labourers, get your scaffolders on job, on time.
But we knew they
and then
couldn't
you would
play
have
any
played
home
this
games.
game.
We knew they couldn't
Yeah.
play any home games anyway.
I
so
know,
why-
but it's because
why-
they're not ready.
Yeah, but why have they not
ready.
just set up them to have only away games when they knew that?
Oh,
Luton
listen,
would be-
man.
I'm
Decision
so
making.
confused.
It's not
Prem.
great.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, Aston Villa 4, Everton 0. Now, boy, if it wasn't a tough start for Everton losing at home last week, it was compounded by losing to a team 4-0 who lost 5-1 the week before. James Tarkowski came out and said, well, it's all right. We lost, Aston Villa lost 5-1. They've beat us 4-0, so why can't we go and do that next week? You're playing for Everton, big man. Right, you've got Neil Maupay now up front. Shout out to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, actually. I'm going to give him some love because no one plans to have their cheekbone fractured in the game. You
Yeah,
saw his face.
so unlucky.
It was all pussy. It was
Yeah, it was awful.
all built up, and he's not in a good way. Did you see him?
His dad
Came out and said some stuff saying, I can't believe the abuse he was getting, because he gave a kind of sarcastic thumbs up to the Everton fans that were booing him off the pitch. I don't know if it's just me. Did you guys see this picture of a steward at the game in the second half
Looked
in
like
the high vis? Bro, it was him. People are telling me that Dominic Calvert-Lewin dressed up as a steward in front of the Everton fans just to see if they were slagging him off. I swear to
that
God.
couldn't
Can
have
someone
happened.
please send me that picture?
I saw that picture. I didn't think it was him.
Maybe it's
But
another
no,
mixed race guy with a pulled back. It can't
Flex, he had
be.
a big swolled up face on his right hand side.
That
Who else
can't
is
be true.
Please get me the picture. I'm going to show it to the guys.
What?
We might even get it up. I'm going to say, is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
No way.
That came in and was a student.
Why would
in
he
the
do
second
that
half?
though as well to go
His
and see
dad
what
was
they're
there. I don't know. Was he paranoid about the abuse that he was getting? I'm not
It's
sure.
sad though because obviously
Someone find me that picture because it looks too much like him for it not to be him. And that steward was only there for the second half as well. But anyway, Douglas Luiz penalty, 3 goals in his past 5 games for Villa. Unbelievable finish from Bailey. Duran gets a goal 40 seconds after coming on. McGinn gets a rare goal as well. It was never going to be Everton's day that. As soon as their number 9 goes off, yes, Danjuma came on. Yes, Jack Harrison has now come through the door. But where are the goals coming from, Everton?
bro.
And are they favourites to now go down after 2 losses in a row?
They're going to be battling relegation
They're going to be
again.
battling everybody.
The thing is, you could talk about the goals is one thing. They have to get strikers. There's talks of Che Adams going there.
Yeah, 12 mil.
And even that, it's like
Rejected by Saints.
he's like a bit better version of Moped, but he's not going to score loads of goals, is he? He's going to work his nuts off. He's going to work really hard and be a pest and a pain in the arse, but he ain't going to score many goals.
Their issues have always been goals. I think they're in financial problems.
But
as well.
defensively, Ashley Young's one of the most experienced guys about. He was just at Villa last year. That throw-in that he's give to,
but when the drop-off starts,
Will Keane, awful. Like
Michael Keane.
Like one thing. Sorry, Michael Keane. The thing that you kind of put as synonymous with a Sean Dyche team is being able to defend properly. Resolute. I mean, we'll go 4-4-2. Yeah, we'll get 2 proper strikers, etc.
Yeah.
We'll get it wide really quickly. A lot of service into the box. That's a Sean Dyche team.
Yeah.
But the calamitous defending that Everton are moving with, even Sean Dyche would be saying, I can't help this.
I don't know.
Bad. So bad.
I think even last year I said he did a brilliant job in being able to keep them up because I thought they were quality-wise, individual quality-wise, outside of Damari Gray, they didn't really have anything really going for them. This season, again, it seems like the core is going to be their main man from midfield kind of leading the charge, but they'll be struggling, I think, same again as they did this year, unless Harrison and Danjuma, I think, is someone who I think maybe if they put him in the 9 position and they just kind of, similar to what he did at Villarreal 2 years ago.
Danjuma would have been looking at it yesterday going, big man.
Why have I come
Why
here?
did you bring me in?
Yeah,
What's going on?
the thing
you
is,
got me here getting rich.
He owes them, low-key. He turned them last minute to come to us,
he
and
did.
then we wasted him. He owes them at least 1 year. Don't forget.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
He
He owes them a little something, and he owes them a little holding bench. I need to be humble for a little bit because I was
really
very
a Sean Dyche
disrespectful.
player, though, is he?
He's
Definitely not.
He's not. But
No
do you know
way.
what he is? He can almost be that player that Sean Dyche. Everyone has to do their job except for you, type of thing. And I look at Harrison. Harrison, I think, is a good signing. I think last season for Leeds, he was okay, but there have been moments where I think, there's
He's
a
a
player
workhorse.
there.
He
There's a
can
player
provide
there.
as well.
Yeah, and Gay went off at half time as well for Everton, which wasn't a good sign. Was on a yellow card, maybe that had something to do with it. If someone can send me this picture, I think someone must know what I'm talking about.
But there's a super chat saying, not Calvert-Lewin, AGT thinks he's on TMZ, strike 2.
Yeah. But this is the
That was super chat. I just saw it there. I don't know if it came
International
up.
Association of Fact Checkers, but you get your facts wrong. Innit?
Yeah.
They
on
did,
Saturday, he
so hold that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So yes, Aston Villa 4, Everton 0. Aston Villa now sitting 10th, whilst Everton bottom. Can't get any lower than that.
It's a Liverpool fan.
No, you can't. It's factually correct.
But you can't, mate. It's
isn't
a low,
it?
you can't. There's nowhere to go, mate, apart from the Championship.
Oh, it's just up, is it? Oh, great. I think that's all the games. Let's talk about the Lionesses, though.
Yeah, and before we wrap up the Prem, though, Arsenal playing tonight.
They are playing tonight, so we'll preview that. But let's quickly touch on the Lionesses. Listen, we watched it on DR Sports yesterday. Spain, in the end, just too good. The better team obviously did win, but still a couple of moments where England could have got something from it, taking it into
Hemp had
extra
a couple
time.
chances.
Hemp. Obviously, listen, you can't deny the fact that Williamson, Mead, massive losses for England going into this tournament. But to get to the final after almost, doing the double-double in terms of Championship, Euros and World Cup is some achievement, but just couldn't.
But when Earp
get
saves that pen, when she saved that,
Everyone thought.
you're thinking, you know what?
Hang on.
Yeah.
She didn't do that. She's off the line.
Yes!
Come on.
Come on now.
Jill
Like,
Scott.
you know what, as a goalkeeper, because it's such an isolated
goal for
position.
you.
Yeah, it's a goal.
It's such an isolated position. You're by yourself a lot of the time. If you make a
talking
mistake,
to
it
yourself a
usually
lot.
ends up in a
Even
goal.
in training as well,
To
you're
save,
training,
everything's just away from the limelight usually, apart from when you're thrusted into it. If there's goals conceded, it's your fault or whatever. So when you save a clutch pen and you see those mad reactions they have, it must feel insane to do that.
Proper adrenaline.
Proper, especially if the team goes on to win.
Three of us on this panel said Spain were going to win. We didn't do it out of out of any, you know, it wasn't out of love for, you know, Spain. It was just kind of maybe for AGT because he does speak a lot of Spanish, but
and you don't like the English national TV Spanish, do you? So.
we just know. We just know.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Listen, this is England. This is what we do.
I know.
We get to finals and we come so close. But
yeah, when I said Spain nick it, everyone's like, oh. I was like, well,
that's what
tiki-taka things.
Yeah.
Did you see the Spanish FA president lifting up all the girls?
Yes.
Because when me and Robbie were sitting there watching it, I was going, he was grabbing up Hermoso's face, the all-time leading goal scorer for Spain, not even her cheeks. He was giving everyone else the kiss on the cheeks, straight in for the lips. And then she's in the change room on IG Live going, no me ha gustado, which means I did not like it, but we have a good relationship. You can't be doing that.
No.
What's wrong with you, bro?
No, you can't be doing that.
Imagine Prince William doing that to all the girls players when they win an FA Cup.
I thought he was going to say a different Prince.
Let's
move it on.
No, they're a bit old for him.
But no,
Robbie's not here. Let's not get the team taken down.
Allegedly.
Let's be responsible here.
But yeah, listen, massive commiserations to England. Just couldn't get it over the line. Lauren James didn't start the game. You know, there's maybe a shout to say she should have. But yeah, when you look at the picture, you know, it doesn't look great behind me. But Spain, you can't knock them, man. They conveyor belt these tiki-taka players.
You got to rate
male,
England,
female.
though, man. What Whiteman's done, what she's done, like,
it's incredible.
You know, and what that England team's done without, like you said, two big characters, to, you know, be European champions and be within a whisker of becoming world champions very quickly. Like the England national team it's a serious team, man.
It is proper. No, you've got to respect them. Right, Crystal Palace play Arsenal tonight at Selhurst Park Monday night. Obviously, we know that Arsenal will be without Jurriën Timber. Around about 7 months it's looking for him. Massive loss that. We're also hearing that Zinchenko could deputise for him after recovering from a calf issue. Guehi available after limping off against Sheffield United, but Elise still out, whilst Will Hughes and Mateus Franca remain sidelines. But Crystal Palace have won 3 of their 23 home games against Arsenal, drawing 8, losing 12. But Arsenal were victorious in both meetings against Palace last season, which you don't actually say every season. They do normally slip up at least once, home or away. But Palace are looking for 2 opening wins in the season for just the second time ever. The first time they did so was also with Roy Hodgson in 2020. The Eagles have won their first Premier League home game just once in 14 previous attempts. They've lost 10 out of them 14. So, listen, if Arsenal win tonight, you're looking at 6 points out of 6, as it should have been when you look at the teams on paper. But if Palace win, they go above Arsenal, only 2 games in, of course. But Palace have started well with their win away at Sheffield United. How do you see this one going tonight?
Yeah, I think Palace, listen, it's a major W for them to lock down Elise and fend off Chelsea and say, listen, he ain't going anywhere. Steve Parish, like that.
That's Zaha money.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, mate. I'll put you on what Wilf was on if you want, mate. Yeah. You stay here. Yeah.
Get his lock up.
Yeah. And Elise, I love Elise. You know why? I said it when I was doing something. I was doing another piece of content, and I was like,
another broadcaster.
This kid, right? Another broadcaster.
Yeah.
What does Ty say? There are
other broadcasters available, as we should say.
He just rocks up to the sign-in, bucket hat, vest, gilet.
I love it.
Went on his social media. I thought, let me see what he thinks about the nude. Nothing. Just a purple screen.
Nothing there. Purple little profile.
Hey, you know what? Because in an era,
Steve Parish where his Percy account dropping news like that.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? In an era, where young players are all over social media. That's where we live. They want to share everything, show everything. You know what I mean? Certain man are putting for their reveal or their training videos. They're getting an editor to put on the little baby in the background. And you know what I mean? Really
slow-mo of them walking into the ground.
I'm looking at certain man. Yeah, all of this. I'm like, right, these man must be well beaters, and before the season starts, can't control the ball.
But the thing is,
so
with him,
for him to just be so placid and calm, nothing phases this kid.
He does.
I love it.
Interviews, he doesn't.
Brilliant.
He barely gives us more than 2 words.
I think it's brilliant.
When he scored that free kick against Man United last minute,
he didn't even do anything.
Stood there.
And I was in the away and raging.
Yeah, I bet you were.
And he's just chilling. He's just turning around saying, "No, that was kind of dead. I didn't even really want to put it there. I wanted to put it the other side, but still, minor."
Great goal, last minute as well.
Wicked goal. Yeah, so the thing is, for him, I think that's fantastic. But I just feel for this game, they'll give a bit under the lights. Obviously, of course, Roy Hodgson's got him playing with freedom. Kid Eze, man. He's a
baller, man.
His trajectory. And it's just the right spot for them to be at now. Just stay at Palace, just keep home in your craft.
Look at Zaha. You can go it when you're 33.
Well, maybe not that late. Well, when he went Man United the first time.
Zaha did go Man United.
Yeah, so there's a time. So, but I think Arsenal, I still think Arsenal will win the game. I think
prediction?
Arsenal will be fine. 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0.
1-1 Palace.
1-1 Palace.
That's 1-1 with Palace dominating instead of
More
one.
than 1-1 Arsenal. No, 1-1 Palace.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's a win for Palace, essentially.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think Arsenal are gonna take it 2-1.
I thought you would go salty and go Palace win.
I am.
You want to, don't you?
I want to, but I'm just gonna leave it.
All right, I'll do it for you then. Palace are going to win this 2-1.
Wow.
There
You don't
go.
believe that, do
You won this
I'm doing
weekend.
it for him.
think?
That's my
Yeah.
guy, man.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Let me think then. Monday night. Lights are going to be on.
Palace
Floodlights.
first home game of the season.
Palace first home game. Woy on smoke, ready to punch man up on the touchline.
Ready to get
Even
Arteta
if
on
they're
the
50
sideline.
years younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Palace 2-1.
Yeah?
Why not? That's what I believe. More
I
than
think
you,
Arsenal will be
believe.
comfortable.
All right, fair enough. I could obviously be wrong. Don't forget, we've got the same show on Wednesday. So we do the roundup on Monday, the preview on a Thursday, I should say. And we'll have a chance to cook Robbie if they do lose tonight. And he will be there. Watch the fan cams, give it all of that. Couple super chats before we round off. Regan says Phillips is a homegrown player.
This guy, bro, he wants to cook him so
Don't care
bad.
if he's homegrown.
More than you believe.
I don't want him to be homegrown, even if he is homegrown. Calvin Phillips, no way. Son is old. Rich Charlton. Nice. Rich Charlton sucks. Who will score? Says M13. Quick answer, one word answer. Who will score? If Son is old and Rich Charlton sucks, who's going to score then?
Kulusevski.
All right, fair enough. Chelsea got run over. Eddie Duffy. Yeah, there was no chest. Chelsea got run over by a parked bus, says Eddie Duffy. Ibby says Mitoma is a special player, man. How much will that guy go for?
100 million.
100?
Yeah.
80 to 100
minimum.
for me.
I need him, but we can't afford it.
I'm
I want
done.
him and Evan Ferguson, please, son.
He'll be 100 million as well.
He'll be
no
not even-
reason.
I'm not even
and you
trying
lot
to
will pay that, all
Yeah.
them lot. Which signing do you think will work best, Havertz or Mount, says 40 side?
Which is worse.
Which
Who
will work better?
best?
Mount or
So Mount or Havertz?
Because Arsenal fans are onto Havertz, innit?
You man
Mount.
are on to Mount as well.
Yeah, a lot of fans are. I'm going to say Mason Mount.
Mount is multifunctional. He'll be good at something.
I think the problem for Havertz is that
Attitude.
he plays at his own pace, and Arsenal, especially
They
with
need
their
him to be
build-up,
quicker.
they need him to, like, when I watched him the first game against Forest, neat touches, but it was all at the Havertz pace, and I could sense it was like, come on, wake up, like
Get into our mode.
Yeah, and I don't think he has that.
Yeah.
Ryan Gaming, last super chat, 100 million plus players should be scoring and assisting every match, same standards they held Pogba to, says Ryan. Right, guys, what a show that was, right? A good 9 or 10,000 with us the whole way through.
Big up.
Almost 3,000 likes, which is what we were
Wow.
after at the start.
Nice.
Couple of super chats.
It's a
in.
flagship show. This is a big
Bro,
spot.
it's a big one.
is prime
A
time
lot of
the
people want to see this. This is the first cooking session of a Monday, really.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so thanks for
doors.
watching. We really appreciate it. Massive shout out for him to come in today. Just one more. Shout out
That's
to
one thing that's not
Matisse.
tolerated, though, is it? Like, if you've got licks to take, you can't be
There's
not
no
turning
hiding
up.
place. You
Bro,
gotta come up.
everyone, you
Come and take
definitely
yours.
don't. Look at last year.
You must be there.
You were here every week.
You must be there.
I was there.
I've been there. You've been
I've
there.
been there.
So good.
Yeah.
Abby's gonna come back soon when the league's begin. Abby,
Abby.
we need you.
She's flying. She's
I think
flying
she's
now.
in the air right now.
flying now.
I think she's in the air
I'm glad
right
she
now.
weren't here for when it's
Yeah,
beat Man
exactly.
United.
She would have cooked you. But she'll be back soon as well, I'm assuming. But massive shout out to Matisse. Go over to his channel if you haven't already. This guy is streaming more than
Deals to be done.
Heathrow
10
Airport.
days.
We need a.
You know how the Heathrow man just stream every flight
Heathrow
coming
Express.
in?
We
This
need a
is
new
like
attacking
this guy.
midfielder and a new.
Oh, it's pathetic. It's pathetic.
But they will
How
do
many
that. They
banks
will
can
do
you
so.
break? They're all broken.
They'll do
Brother,
it.
we're
Shout
gonna
out to
keep
Flex.
spending. We're gonna keep
Big up.
spending until we get this right, brother.
Take thing.
All right.
Shout out to Flex for coming on as well. As always, my bro, go and subscribe to United View, doing
Big up.
massive content on that channel. And I like most of the videos because I like you, bro. So how about that?
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank
nice
you, man.
ending to the show.
Thank you, man.
A man like Fuad.
Hey, come on,
big
dog.
win for him over at Manchester United. Right, we'll be back on Thursday, so make sure you watch us then. But until then, take care. Love. All the best.
Peace.